Miksi mä lupasin pitää? Okay, no one here. I guess we're done for the night. So thanks. That was a great Facebook Live. See you tomorrow. Musa the Musketeer is back. You know what? Screw you guys. I have to wrench. I have to work on my car. Go to National tomorrow. What's the number today? 100? Hopefully we won't make that. What's a good number? 100? Sä oikeasti peruutit kyllä jotakin nyt pois. Sä olit siinä screenissä. $300, don't budge, that would be awesome. Then we don't have to say anything today. We might be able to get 100 people. Captain Club Race. You know, Captain Club Race boss. That always works. I'm definitely blocked now, so I can't do much about that. So you're gonna have to help me out there. Get some Captain Club Race action. Hey JQ. So anyway, you can ask some questions while we wait. We aren't going to bother getting into the subject matter before we have enough people online. Time is very valuable. Got some very good advice coming up for loose tracks, loose, rough, shitty tracks. No offense to the Finnish track builders. Track looks awesome, but you know, it is what it is. So we're going to talk about what setup we start with and what changes we'll potentially make tomorrow at the race as we attempt the incredible feat of getting first and second in the second national. Now that's going to be tough to do, but we're going to try. And we're going to talk about how we're going to achieve that. Does Max sit in the back with hood up to play with his balls? No. We don't have balls. Ui juma. Kato mitä tässä on käynyt. Kato mun fuilinetku.
Ui vittu. Toi on niinku ihan sikalähdellä.
Niin on. Niin on. Tää on tää vanha auto. So my fuel tubing has almost worn through. It's been rubbing against the center diff mount. Is it cold where we are? No, it's just Max is weird. No questions. We should just end this. 55 people, no questions. Just depressing. Depressing state of affairs. E-buggy, there we go. Just quit. Quit while you're losing. What's that saying? Hey, I got one. Got what?
Who's E-clip? What, is E-clip here?
How come we can't buy JQ fuel tubing in bulk? Because I'm not Costco. Fucking buy the spare part. What's your problem? Jesus Christ.
We only sell spares for our car, not fuel tube and spare.
What do you clean your car with? Well, I actually like Pledge. Pledge is really good. That foaming thing you use for...
Someone already invented the silencer or brass dip spacer.
Someone saw it? I just uploaded it today. Yeah, we uploaded some new stuff, but it's still all fucked up. We don't have the pricing up and all kinds of issues there, so we haven't promoted it. But basically, the 2mm carbon spacers for the gearboxes, we have those in brass. Then we have a brass B block also. Then we have carbon fiber radio tray, carbon fiber plate for the center diff mount. If you're in Europe, you can buy this stuff already. If you're in America, well, tough luck. America's not #1 in everything. Unfortunately, Europe got it first. So yeah, if you're in Europe, you can get that stuff now. Yeah, Pledge is good. The stuff that you use for furniture, yeah, it foams up. It's really good. The other stuff I like is just WD. That works. This stuff. But I don't like it as much because after you clean the car, then dust sticks to it really easily. So Pledge is better. Since droop, springs, oil, and sway bars all affect chassis roll, how do you know which to address first? Okay, that's a decent question. I've addressed this before and I can't remember what I said. Let's put it this way. Oil doesn't affect the amount of roll really that much. It affects how quickly the car rolls. Having said that, if you have less grip, which you have with thicker oil, the car will roll less. So it slightly affects how far the car rolls, but that's not a way to limit roll. You don't limit roll with the oils. You limit roll with the springs and the sway bars. I think first you adjust the spring. If you go to a higher grip track and the car feels like it's moving a lot, adjust the spring first, because you also want to limit how much it dives or squats. Sway bars don't do that. So the spring is number one. That's what you change first. After you adjust to the harder spring, if it still feels soft, then you go to the sway bar. Droop, you don't really adjust for the roll, I feel. Maybe slightly, yes, but in off-road you tend to want to have a lot of droop. Because of all the jumps, the car won't jump or land as good with less droop, and also it won't go through bumps as well. And the traction, you'll have traction up to a point and then suddenly lose it if you reduce droop too much. So droop would be the last thing to change. So first springs, then sway bars, and then droop. You can reduce droop a bit and gain some corner speed. So you can try that. So that's the order, I would say. Still not at 100, I'm disappointed. You haven't got your mums to watch, you know, you haven't got your girlfriends to log in. Pretty disappointed at you. 70 people, everyone just gets one person to watch, and we're at 140, so I don't know what's wrong with you. I guess you don't want to do this today. And use your imagination. Keenan said you're paying for dinner and drinks tonight for us at AMS. Thanks, dude. I'm not paying for shit. Keenan's lying. Keenan's just had one beer too many. How's it going over there at AMS? I saw you have a nice pit set up. Track looks good. Guaranteed someone's going to die marshalling this weekend. So hopefully that's not a JQ driver. Why should I listen to this instead of Race Wars podcast? I don't even know what that is.
I think he's meaning InfoWars. Could be.
I don't know. Why is Jake U better than Techno? Okay, Max, you take that one.
Okay. So, a few weeks before, there's this guy we are quite good friends with, but he drives a Techno. I mean,
Who
it's
is
okay. Mullen does.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so I took his car. Oh, I went to drive around the track. I drove it. Like, it's okay. Then we started to tune it a bit, and if you tune the car so that it handles how a car should handle, the car sucks. It's so bad.
Kiitti, nyt ne inhoa suakin.
It's
Sano
awful.
nyt jotain hyvää siitä kanssa.
But when you tune it so that the rear end slides out, it's like a Losi, to be honest. Like an old Losi would be. Then it's a decent car. But the way that you have to set up a techno, it's like completely like it's so opposite how you should set up a car, like any other car. And when you look at it on a track, it looks awful. It's not an awful car, but it looks and feels that way.
Okay, see, so what you can see here is a Finnish kid being honest, right? You people say I'm harsh. Jesus Christ. So anyway, what he's trying to say is it's a driver's car. If you're a good driver, you can make it handle.
Yes.
Or you can't
Exactly.
really make it handle. You can drive it around the track. It's kind of like the first JQ car was. It was really fast, but it was hard to drive because the car wasn't very forgiving. So what you had to do is you kind of had to limit the movement the car has, so it doesn't roll, doesn't move much, because it will fuck up if it does. So you make it stiff, you make the rear end slide, so it's kind of sliding around the track, which is hard to do, hard to drive. That's why qualifying, okay, long 60-minute main, that's harder to do. So that's the situation now. But I heard they have a new car coming anyway, so curious to see what they do. But for now, yeah, just get the JQ. So there we go. Note to self, don't ask Max to talk about other brands. It's true. Yeah, well, who cares? It's fucking truth. Ask something about a good car. Yeah, 10 scale, see?
The 10 scale is really good. I drove the same guy's car in wintertime. We set up that one. That one actually worked.
Yeah, there we go. There
so
we go.
If you have to buy a Techno, buy a JQ8 scale and a Techno 10 scale.
There we go. Perfect combination.
Yes.
'94. I haven't been watching, but yeah, we're creeping closer. So someone get your mom to watch, and we'll be good. After Worlds, will Max be doing the next JQ America tour with you? Max, are you going to America?
I hope so.
He hopes so. Carbon fiber shock tower versus aluminium. I think 7 grams. So doesn't make a difference unless you change all kinds of lightweight stuff, and then you want to shape weight from everywhere. So then it makes sense.
I'll take a new TLR.
Okay, so I heard some rumors. Some TLR guys were running some HB racing stuff on the front end to try and make it work. So, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but it doesn't look like the greatest release ever in the history of releases. But hey, it looks like the next evolution for them. I'm sure they'll figure it out. I don't know why they didn't figure it out before they released it. And it is what it is. It's an American brand. It's pushed by Horizon. It's gonna sell a shit ton, and they'll figure it out. That's what I think. But it was like nothing special, you know. That's what I feel like. When they originally released Losi 8, it was revolutionary. You know, it just changed the game. But this one just kind of, meh. That's what I think. 97 people. Can you just get it over 100? Plastic inserts or carbon fiber in the A-arms. What's good and what's bad? I think plastic to start with, probably on most cars. Then carbon for the rear or in hot weather or high grip. Normally just the rear. The front kind of makes the car nervous, but the rear will make it smoother in corners and sweepers especially. Well, I haven't run the Serpent, so I wouldn't know. I heard the Serpent's just a copy of the HB, but I haven't actually looked at it. People always say cars are copies, so who knows? Aye. What do you mean it just hooks the rear? What do you mean by hooking the rear? Christopher Travers. We're going down. We had 97, now we have 95. What's wrong with you people? Can you just get someone to join so we get 100 people so we can start this? Moms have to work. Well, someone else, like girlfriends or random guys in the street.
Open up your second phone, your laptop, your iPad, your
Yeah, there we
Samsung
go.
tab.
Just
Yes.
what I'm gonna watch this. Can I watch this myself and get more people on here? We're going even further now. $89 now. This is embarrassing. Oh my god. Okay, we need a plan. Someone spam Captain Club Race and his boss. Then someone get like Savoya. Someone get who else? Someone get Boots. We get some English guys here. Who else could we get? Figured My Gyro. You know, someone post this to Figured My Gyro. Tell him we're talking about like gyro settings or something and he'll join. Someone message... Kuka olisi hyvä? Sano joku semmonen. Kova jätkä. Someone message any techno driver and say that we're talking shit on techno. That's gonna get like, dude, the smoke signals will start, the drums will start, and they will just go round the pits like wildfire. The fucking bat phone will ring. Daniel Lewis will pick up, and all the techno drivers will be on here, right? So we'll just get over 100 people. Like that. So someone message a couple of techno guys, you know, sneak in a message and say that we're talking shit on techno, and they'll all check in. And then we'll be over 100, and we'll just start talking about setup. And it's not relevant to them because it won't work on their cars. So it's fine. It's not, can you help me out here? We're at 93. We're so close. Aye. Kenny Morris. Yeah, Kenny, just tell your mates that we're talking shit on techno. Just do it. Even though we're not, we're going to talk about setup, but it's going to get people on board. Dude, it's working. 101.
Oh,
It worked. Okay. So we're over 100. Let me just open this here so I can see the comments. How does this work now? Okay, I'm on my laptop for the comments so I can actually see them. Okay. So this weekend, actually tomorrow, we have the National here at my home track. And the track is pretty loose. It will probably groove up to have a slippery groove with dust on the outside. So it's really loose track. It has some tight hairpins, but also long sweepers. It has some rough sections, jumps. It's pretty technical at the end of the day if you want to get it right. So if you go on our website, you can check the June starting setup. That's what we're going to start with. But we will do some tweaks along the way to try and improve the car. What the goal really for that track is, you need more steering in the car and you need more grip. So more grip and more steering, and the car has to be smooth and easy to drive. So Max can take over now and tell you how he's going to approach this race, what his setup is going to be, and what kind of changes he'll do. And then I'll tell you mine after that.
Okay, so my approach for this race is, well, I'll start with this setup. It's a basic setup. I'm comfortable with this one. It works pretty much everywhere. And then, if my car is good, I'll just keep running it that way. Try the tires. Try maybe different springs. But if the grip's low, then I'll keep with the JQ springs, as the setup says.
Well, what springs might you try? And why would you try them?
I'll try HB yellow, because those ones have more corner speed. And this track's all about maintaining corner speed. So, even though the track's loose, with HB springs, you have more control over the car. The car is more responsive. So, even though you would have less grip, you could steer the car into the corner and hold your line better. It's easier to hold your line, even though it has less grip, but it responds better. If that makes any sense.
So easier to maintain corner speed.
Yes.
With HB springs.
And this one has long corners. Like you might have 3 different corners, and you just turn all the way. Like 3 different apexes, you turn all the time. So you have to maintain your line. If you go a little bit wide, you'll kind of miss the 2 next corners as well. So the key on this track is maintaining corner speed. So you want to have your car so that it's responsive enough and stiff enough so that it won't fold over on the corners.
So why wouldn't you just start with HB springs? Why do you start with JQ?
I would start with the JQ springs because in the morning the track's always dusty. There's no groove, it's dusty, it might be even a bit wet from the night.
So the JQ springs have a bit more grip.
Yes, so JQ springs have more grip and it's easier to drive around the track. To do consistent laps, it's easier to do with the JQ springs. But with HB springs, you might have more corner speed if you can manage the grip. So my bet is to focus on tires, and so that my car works from the first practice on. If it doesn't, I'm gonna change it for the second one. Most likely a thinner center diff, because that allows the car to have more grip.
So what oil do you start with and what would you change to?
I'm gonna start with a 15,000 oil, which I always run, apart from low grip tracks or really bumpy tracks. On this track it's low grip and a bit bumpy, I think. I don't know if they fixed it today, but usually it's a bit bumpy. So I might go down to 10,000 oil because it makes the car easier to control and it has more grip. So springs, center diff oil.
And what about tires? Which tires do you think you'll run?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with, because it's kind of cold, it's 18 degrees, which is like, I guess 65 Fahrenheit, somewhere around that. So I'm gonna start with super soft triple Ds, and I'm gonna try the J Concept rehabs at some point, and also maybe Cosmos. I don't know. It depends if there's like if the surface seems that way it would work. But I think triple D is the best bet, and I'm gonna try soft and super soft because this track usually prefers soft tires, although it's always kind of cold.
So what else would you potentially change? Anti-squat, arm height, something like that?
I wouldn't change anti-squat because this track, as I said before, it's a bit bumpy. So anti-squat, for me at least, less anti-squat just makes the car way more settled down on tracks where there are small bumps. When the bumps get bigger, the anti-squat doesn't help anymore. So you might as well run more anti-squat when the bumps are huge. And
Tukivaran korkeus.
Oh, arm height. I tried it before, but I have never actually liked to run the arm low. I always like to run the arm at 0 on the front and usually 0 on the rear as well, unless I run more anti-squat. And
so what else would you potentially change?
I'm starting with the weight on front. I'm gonna put the brass B plate on the car. So I'm gonna start with that one and try to take it off at one point, just to have like a lighter car. So maybe more grip and more response on the car. That's about it. But I'm not planning to do too many changes.
There you had it.
Yes.
What else? So no changes to the roll centers? No, just run the same stock.
No roll center.
Hub toe in, what about that? Always run the hub toe in. Shock positions? No. What about the inline steering, the zero steering, or the
Oh, I have an incline.
KPI,
Yeah, I have
inclined?
KPI, yeah. KPI.
So why do you run the inclined?
Well, okay, I'm gonna explain this because I think this is what I really like about the car now. So, without the incline, you have less steering overall, but the first reaction of the steering is faster. So you have more turn in, but less overall steering with the 0 incline hubs. But with the incline ones, you have a more settled down turn in, so it's easy to go into corners, and then if you overshoot it, you still have more steering. So I prefer to have more steering because I can go into the corner and then I can steer more if I need to, or just keep the same as I'm going. Sometimes it's harder to do that because the tracks are really bumpy, so you might lose the rear end, or it's just hard to control so much steering sometimes. But most tracks, at least for me, my driving style supports to have more steering in the corner. But for example, Joseph prefers the other way around.
That's why I'm slow maybe now. Captain slow.
So yeah.
Can't control the steering anymore.
If you feel like you could use more steering out in the corner, like in middle of the corner and out of the corner, use the inclined hubs. But you have to drive it a little bit different. You have to go on power earlier because you have more steering. With the other hubs, you might feel that the car starts to push when you go on power. But with these ones, it does just the opposite. So you have to go on the power early and then turn more and see how much the car rotates. You should always go on power earlier than to start turning more, because if you turn and then go on power, you're gonna spin out every time. So I think it's a question of driving style at the end.
So the inclined knuckles, you can drive more on power. And when you stay on power, you'll have more steering and grip.
Yes.
But you have to drive that style, so a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, so you have to be more, well, you don't really have to be more aggressive, but you have to be more on power. So you have to have more aggressive going into the corner and more aggressive going out, but you don't have to be really punch or anything. You just have to be quicker with what you do.
Jesperi Jyrkkänen, miksi sä et aja enää sitten? Lippulaivassa ajoit, mutta ei enää. What about caster blocks for turning? Well, caster blocks not really for turning, I feel. That's more for, you run the 18s almost always, but then if the track is high grip and the car is a bit hard to drive, you put the 20s on to smooth everything out. That's really how I would use caster. Okay, so there you had it. There you had what Max changes for this race. I pretty much have the same situation. I'm starting with some differences to him. He's running the zeros in all the arm holders, A, B, C, D. I'm running 0.5 down. So what I'm trying to achieve is a bit more roll, forgiveness, and more grip from my car. Because the track is loose, so I lower the arm just a tad to get it to roll and give the car a bit more traction. Then I actually have my front shocks one hole inclined, also to get more steering. Because I feel like when you lean the shock over, you get a bit more steering. I'm running the zero steering knuckle, and he's running the inclined one. The zero, like he said, more initial steering but less overall steering. So when I lean the shock over, I have less initial, more mid to exit. So it's like running the zero steering knuckle but laying the shock over is a compromise. So the steering knuckle removes steering mid to exit, the laid over shock adds steering mid to exit. The zero steering knuckle adds initial steering, laying the shock over removes initial steering. So they work together in that sense. One thing he didn't touch on, but that we might play with tomorrow is sway bars. So we start with 2.3 front, 2.6 rear. That's pretty standard. But we could also try a 2.2 in the front just to get some more steering. Other than that, I'm gonna try two different shock setups. So I will try the one we always use, 7 1.25, 7 1.35, 32 front, 30 rear, or CST 450, 400. And then I'll also try 6-hole 1.3, 6-hole 1.4 with the same oils, just to compare and see which is better. Other than that, I think pretty standard. Diff oil, I'm running 10-10-4. I'm starting with that already. He's running what, 10-15? 4?
5.
5, 10-15-5. But that's pretty close. So those are the kind of things we change. So not too big changes. Maybe some arm height, like 0.5 mil arm height, 0.1 on the sway bar in the front, incline or non-inclined steering knuckle, piston, maybe spring, what else was there? Diff oil, possibly. Well, ride height is another thing. So on this track, because of the bumps and because it's loose, you can run a slightly higher ride height. So I actually am going to try 28 ride height. So normally we run 26 front, 27 rear. That's pretty standard, but I'll actually try to run 28 front and rear just to get the car a bit higher, give it a bit more roll and more grip, smooth it out. So that's something I'll try. The droop, we tend to have it pretty standard. 102 front, 122 rear.
I had one to do.
Or 123 rear.
Yeah, I like it.
So. Eduardo Rossi, ciao. The setup you posted for the Raw Nats, guys, works good on a blown out track as well. Yeah, but that's for higher grip. Raw Nationals was high grip. This is loose track. We have two different setups, Trent. We have the loose track one, like standard, and then we have a high grip one. So you ran the high grip one, and that's good. But we run a loose track, so we run the stock one. Tuning the gyro, no? I don't see figured my gyro on here, so. Green rehabs. We have some green rehabs right here. Gonna try them tomorrow. Oh yeah! Triple Ds, Stalkers, rehabs, Cosmos. Still haven't got my AK order, so can't run them. Okay. So we covered that. Pretty basic. What else? Preparation for the race. Normally, to prepare, just go through the diffs, new O-rings, new gasket, greased out drives, new oils for the diffs. Make sure everything's tight. New shock oils. If you need to, replace the shock O-rings and bushings if it's been long, if you feel that the shaft isn't moving smoothly, if the O-rings have swelled. What else do we do? Max, what else is needed? You do the diffs, you do the shocks.
If something really went out, just fix it, but that's why
Something's worn out, change it.
Shim everything down, your hubs, so that it has no gap between the...
Here's these shims here that I lost somewhere. But, where are they? I had 1 million of them just now. I had 1 million shims and I put them somewhere.
Small loan of 1 million shims?
A small loan of 1 million shims. Here we go. These shims, you know these bad boys? 13 times 16 times 0.1. With those shims, you can shim the hexes. So you put it behind the bearing in the white insert, and you get all the play away from the wheels. So that's a good thing to do also before a race. Yeah. 3 shoes, stock clutch. That's what we're running. Flywheel weights are gay, we don't do that.
Nothing wrong with being gay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm not homophobic. I'm just part of this culture where we kind of say gay for stuff like that. Don't know why that is, but it is what it is. My sister's here. That can't be good. So anyway, any more questions or are we done here? We have a lot of work to do still. So. No one's paying me to do this either. Come Onko sulla puskureita? Mä tarvitsin yhden. Hello! No questions? Anything? Anything about race preparation or setup or loose track or something like that? Camber, we might adjust camber a bit. See what works. Merit says hello. I don't know who Merit is, but she said hello. Oliko sulla puskuri? Yeah, well, we don't really change the engine position. We always run it to the front, but a lot of people should try it one step back. So you flip that top engine mount so the arrow is backwards and use the front holes. And that, it will just slow down everything a bit. So the response is just a bit slower. And I think it doesn't rotate around hairpins as much, which is good for some people, but I kind of want it to always rotate more, so I run it all the way forward. But if you want to make the car more stable, try it one step back. I was supposed to talk about Euro setup, but honestly I can't be asked, so I'm gonna do that later on, close to the Euros. I think we're gonna do it not next week but the week after. That's the last week I'm here before I leave on my road trip to the Euros, so then we can talk about that. Engine, tires, car, everything for the Euros. What's your braking method? Just run some fuel through the engine and it's good. That's my braking method. Ask Captain Club Race, you know. Oh no, actually now he uses that braking system in the oil, so we'll talk about that some other time. When are you making a video of Red's engine tuning? How you go about it and with your snowflake finer. What? I'll do that when Reds release a new stand-up carb, because then I can officially tell everyone that I'm running a stand-up carb, not the lay-down stuff. I don't like it. So when they do that, then I can show you how I tune the stand-up carb, which I've secretly been running for 2 years. And Reds was really pissed at me until they realized that it actually makes a difference and they decided to produce it. Only took 2 years to convince them. Other people were involved in this effort. Thank you to all those people. But yeah, when they do that, then I'll show you how to tune the engine. More or less camber to prevent traction roll? Well, camber doesn't really prevent traction roll much, because you would have to increase camber so much that it would just be a bad thing for the overall handling. But typically, I would say like you add a bit more and the car is smoother to drive. I don't have an opinion on that oil bath braking because I've never done it. Grass track next weekend. Any pointers? Yes, just stay home. Stay home with the family and enjoy a weekend off. Why do you use 10-15-5, not 15-10-5? Well, because it's completely different. 10 to get steering, 15 to get drive. That's it. Like 15, you have less of power steering and less drive because you have a thin center diff. It's just different. Watch the diff episode, people. Your loose track setup should work good next month in New York. Yeah, it should. I don't know if I'll be there, but it will work good for you. When will we see you, says my sister. I don't know. When you'll see me, seeing me right now. Just enjoy this moment. Hello. Oh God. What a people person I am. I don't know if I'm going to the OS challenge. It's up to the organizer. Yes, stand-up means regular carb. Yes. Expectations for the race. For the race tomorrow, I mean, this fool, I mean, he needs to get his shit together, really. I mean, he should TQ and win. The hell? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, see? Yes. And, yeah. I should probably get second if he wins. No, I don't like the horizontal path because it loads up and is shit for me. Like if you drive punched all the time, it's fine. If you drive like Mayfield or Boot, good. If you drive like me, like you putt around some sections, low throttle, and then you go on throttle, it loads up no matter how you tune it. Stand up doesn't do that. Took me 2 years to show Reds that it actually happens. When are the Euros then? Euros are the first week of August. We're leaving the 18th of July because we're driving. So we're leaving 2 weeks early. Well, 12 days early or something. I don't know. JQ got red-faced. I'm the same. I haven't changed. How will you prepare for the world's retreat? Yes, so there's the International Federation of Men Arranging Retreats, known as IFMAR. They have decided that they want to spend their holiday in Perth, Western Australia. And it's a nice place, so they extended the race, which no manufacturers or drivers except Sebastian Beltran in Colombia wanted. So instead of just having a regular, doable kind of 5 to 7 day World Championship, they have a 3-month World Championship. So basically we have like 87 days of racing. Now 86 days is practice and then 1 day of actual racing. And that they think that this International Federation of Men Arranging Retreats, they think this is an awesome idea, and they're completely oblivious to what anyone actually participating in the race thinks. I heard that even the organizer didn't want to do that. I mean, even the people organizing the event have to take off days off work to be there and put up with the crybaby Europeans and Americans showing up and complaining about track watering and this and that. And it's just fucking terrible ordeal, really, for everyone involved. Except the men arranging the retreat, who get a free holiday for 2 weeks instead of just one. So how am I going to prepare? I don't know, because I'm in Finland and the weather's going to be terrible. I might go to America. I might go somewhere in Asia and run there. Somewhere. I mean, probably in October sometime I need to be practicing, otherwise it's no point in going. So I think September you can't run in Finland anymore. It starts raining so much, so I have to figure something out. Thoughts on running 2 tires in front and different set in rear? Sometimes that works, like we used to do with City Block and I-Beam, or I don't know. Maybe some other combos. Another maybe more common thing is running a different compound front versus rear. So which way do people do that normally? Like harder in the front and softer in the rear. Try to get an easier car to drive, so it maybe pushes a bit, has good rear grip, the front tires don't go bald. Yeah, so maybe even for the Euros something to try. Harder compound in the front, softer in the rear. Don't know. How many JQ drivers tomorrow? I don't know, but quite a few. You were wearing the same hoodie last FaceTime Live. Hope it's been washed. What do you care if it's been washed or not? Does it look dirty to you? I think it looks pretty clean. I forgot what wing options you like. I like to run, well, the JQ wing has the least grip, so if you want low traction, could run that. Then I like to run the AE wing, the old TKI3 Kyosho wing, and I still haven't tried the HB wing, but apparently that's good. My sister says we have 2 weeks we can meet, so, well, you know where the office is. That's where I'm gonna be, so see you. How much Asahi I have to organize that you will make a stop at WMWRC Buggy Racing Team Fairing on your road trip to Euros? Wow, well, Fairing isn't really on the way to the Euros, so that's gonna be a lot of Asahi. That's gonna be maybe like maybe like 12 years supply. 12 to 15 years supply of SI, and how it will go. Okay. How to prevent rolling over a very rutted track that is loose. Oh God. So you don't want to crash. So you're basically crashing because of bumps, not because of traction. So low roll centers, first of all. So try lowering the arm. So on the front, go from the zeros to 1, hold down. So you lower the whole front arm. That helps. You could try lowering the rear arm too. That could help too. You could try, if you feel like the rear is catching the bumps and then flipping the car, so it doesn't slide, then you could try raising the hub. So go to the middle insert and then also raise the link on the inside on the tower. So you raise the hub to the middle insert hole and also top hole on the tower for the link. And then you could also try moving the hub to the middle. So not 1 step forward, move it back 1 step to the middle. Could go better through the bumps. You could try different pistons. Try 6-hole pistons, 613s, 614s. You could try laying the shocks over. That could help. Try all that shit. Grid packs is the AK combo. Okay, grid irons front, impact rear.
Olympic alarm.
Huh?
Olympic alarm.
That's your Olympic alarm going off? There's no alarms for the Olympics because it's fucking not happening anymore this year. It already happened, we've got to wait 4 years. So that's where we are. That's where we are at. Okay, people, we're at 86 viewers. We have a lot of wrenching to do. I don't know if I can take this for 1 minute longer. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get 3 more questions relevant to setup. And I'll try and reply to them. If I can't think of a reply, then I'm going to have Max reply. Yeah. Max will do it before you do it again. Max will join the Olympics before I get to. I actually think that's pretty likely. Probably that's what's going to happen. Eat Truggy. People are saying eat Truggy, but I do what I want. I said 3 more questions. So 3 more questions. Actually, any kind of questions. Let's open the floor. Any kind of questions. 3 questions. We're going to reply to them. And then after that, we're done. It's Friday night. A lot of wrenching. See this? I'm wrenching this old car for myself. Because, ladies and gentlemen, some Finnish village idiot from another village wanted to race 8 scale. He's a 10 scale gay boy. He runs 10 scale, right? Max.
Yeah, and 5th scale. He used to ride 5th scale.
He even runs 5th scale. He
Not
runs
anymore.
10 scale and 5th scale, right? This is the kind of person we're dealing with here. How old is he?
He's my age, so 17.
He's 17 years old.
No, 18. He's just 18.
He's 18. He wants to run 8 scale. One of the JQ guys said, hey JQ, do you have a car this guy wants to run? Wait, why am I always such an idiot? I should have said no, I can't help. No, but I said, yeah, sure, whatever, you know? Of course. So he's going to get this thing dialed in. It's ready. It's run on that track. Engine is good. It's just, it's basically you could win with this. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's going to get this tomorrow and he can race it. We'll see how he does. Doesn't have an 8 scale, doesn't run 8 scale. Now he can run 8 scale. So, that was a genius idea, except now I need a car. So that's why I'm stuck here rebuilding this thing now, so I can race. That's how we roll at JQ Race. If you're a village idiot and you want to run 8 scale, just get in touch. We can hook you up. Okay, so any questions? Best tips for people who cannot feel so much difference in setups. Good first question. 1 out of 3. If you can't feel the difference in setups, then this is what you should do. You should put the basic JQ starting setup on the car. And then leave it. And just drive, practice, for fuck's sake. Why does everything have to come so easy? Just buy 100 gallons and run 100 gallons. And then after that 100 gallons, then you're actually going to tell a difference because you know how to drive. During that 100 gallons, you don't change your setup. You just glue new tires, put new tires on, change your diff oils, change your shock oils, replace worn out parts, and that's what you do. Practice.
Focus on driving.
Focus on your driving. Think about what you're doing. If you're overshooting every corner, fucking think about it. And decide, you know what? Fast guys don't overshoot this corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down earlier so I don't overshoot the corner. I'll stay on the line, do the corner properly, and then head into the next section. Think about what you're doing. Do that for 100 gallons. Okay? After that, then you're going to feel the difference because then you know how to drive. You can drive consistently. You're going to change something. Then you realize, oh, I have more steering now. Oh, I have less steering now. Oh, now my car wants to do this. Now it wants to do that. Focus on driving, people. Practice. Okay. That was question number 1. Question number 2, Max is going to take care of. Let's get a good question now. Okay, this is just toe in, down, travel, toe out, on power, or what do you think? But if that question is not linked to something else you posted here, then I'm sorry. Spec Q has whatever the setup sheet says. Come on, people. Oh my God. How is Tinder working for you? Okay, Max, how is Tinder working for you?
I don't use that.
He doesn't. I said the next question was for Max. He doesn't use it. Technically, I don't use it either. I mean, I have it. I just get no matches because I'm fucking ugly. So it's like, just like not using it, you know? Can we get 2 more questions now? We're not going to count those questions. Any point to thicker or thinner diff rises? Yeah, let's get back to that later on. We're still testing. When's JQ Thread Store active? Okay, let's use that as the second question. You're really wasting your questions. Talked about this many times. I've been saying next month for like 3 years. So I'm just going to say next month, JQ Thread's web store is up. What happened to your 4-wheel drive you had a few years ago at Reedy? It's in the closet. It's in the closet.
It's coming out of the closet.
Yeah, my 4-wheel is coming out of the closet. Do you smoke weed to help you drive? No, I don't smoke weed to help me with anything.
Okay.
Weed just fucking makes you dumb.
This. Weed slows down your response. Don't smoke weed when you drive. Only thing.
Yeah, man.
Only. Who?
Cool,
only thing
man.
that if you want to do drugs and drive, do Adderall. That's the only thing.
There we have it.
Yeah.
That's why James Bubba Stewart got banned.
You're in the US, just go to your fucking school guy, say, oh, I have ADHD now just before exams. Get some Adderall, do good in school, do good in an RC race. Have fun.
Yeah, just do Adderall. This is really good. He's like, Max is, what is the word? Promoting drug use.
Responsible drug use.
Responsible drug use. Use Adderall and do well in RC. That's really good, Max.
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna try that now. I wanna see if that helps. The world's I'm gonna be on Adderall.
I mean, I bet some drivers do Adderall. I'm 100% sure some Americans do Adderall.
Yeah.
Because that's like easy to cheat.
Max, you retard. I smoke and drive better. Maybe you would drive even better if you just focused otherwise.
Maybe you're too nervous. Maybe smoking down calms you down a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe if you
like having a beer.
If you smoke every day, you basically have to smoke to drive good. Because otherwise you're just too tense. You're
too tense. There we go. Finally we have a question. Is Max living his dream? Max, go into an in-depth reply with this. Talk about working here, summer job. You see how shitty this work and job actually is, how much bullshit you have to do, how living the dream actually is kind of tough at this stage.
Okay, so
just talk about that in general.
People always say, dream big. So if you dream big, every single opportunity you get, you're never living your dream. So I can't say I'm living my dream. I like how it's going at the moment. So I like driving RC, renting my cars, then fucking doing some Excel sheets for 10 hours and then realizing all the work I've done is worth nothing, basically.
No, it's not worth nothing.
Well, I'm gonna have to do the same thing again, basically.
Not really.
Well, anyway. But yeah, it's nice. Like, racing RC cars is cool. So, I like how it's going. But I think, okay, life advice number 2.
What was number 1?
Dump your girlfriend. So, okay, let's get back to that one. If you still have a girlfriend, grab your phone, text your girlfriend. Okay, this kid in an FB Live told me to dump you, and now you're single, okay? I'm racing RC cars.
And I'm taking it seriously.
Yes, and you're taking it seriously. So, now go on your phone, text your girlfriend, you're single, I'm racing RC cars. I'm not taking it seriously. So please send us the replies, we want to see those. You can say it as a joke, or if you actually take RC seriously, actually do that.
Okay, and what's life advice number 2?
Life advice number 2, dream big, and if you always dream big, you're never going to live your dream. So that sounds depressing, doesn't it? But if you dream big, you're always going forward. So this one guy came to our school and he was like, so when I was like 18, I didn't know what I would do. So I thought of Superman, and the Superman flew. So I wanted to be a helicopter driver. So the dude like took up helicopter flying. And now he owns like a business that earns like millions. And like it's a massaging business. So it has nothing to do with flying. But because of the reason he wanted to take up flying, he had to make up a business. So when he did the business, he had to know how to do a business, and then he started another one and another one. And this one business that he now does, it's a massaging school or something. It's actually a really successful one. So he's told me, if you want to be like, at 50 you want to have $100,000. So the dude was like, no, that's dumb. So you want to have $100 million. So dream too big. That was his point. So basically, be a Superman, fly, and then make a massaging school. But yeah, dump your girlfriend. Has there been anyone dumping your girlfriend yet? Your life choices goals may change after puberty. No. Dump your girlfriend. Come to my tent, Liam. I'll take your V. What? Virgin life. Okay, so yeah. Has anyone dumped their girlfriend yet? Will RC Sucks ever or won't he do something?
Or boyfriend.
Yeah. Please someone send
your
boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm racing RC cars, I'm gonna dump you. Please. Like as a joke even. Just do it. I wanna see the response. But yeah. Life advice number 2. No, number 1, dump your girlfriend. Number 2, be a helicopter driver and then do a massaging school. I
think you missed the point on that one. It was probably just dream too big.
Yeah, so dream too big. That's the second one. But the first one, dump your girlfriend. Okay.
Shoot for the stars, and even if you don't make it, you'll still be on the moon. Right? What was that saying?
Send news. Yeah, don't send news.
We should probably have some kind of motivational Facebook Live one day. I think it would work well with Max here. You know, we can talk about how... you need to be a champion, not a fanboy.
This one,
that kind of stuff.
You assuming people watching a live feed on Friday night have a girlfriend. Well, yeah, maybe
That's a good point.
Expected too much.
Dude, I just texted my girl. Let's see how it responds.
Mini JQ, are you coming back to the US this year? I hope so. I want to come back.
This year already?
Well, maybe next year. Maybe next winter when we have holidays.
Oh, that would be good if we could do fall brawl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Maybe if we have cheap flights to Miami or something from Helsinki, he could fly over and we could do fall brawl. That would be fun.
Get laid while you can. I will, and I do. Want to be poor, race and not get laid. Oh. Race Aussie cars, dump your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to say pilot. I fucked up on it. Dominican Republic. Keenan wants me to go to Dominican Republic. Keenan told me like so many times.
Yeah, I think maybe next week even we'll have the first Facebook Live will be about being a champion, not a fanboy. We're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna find out how Max can be a champion, not a fanboy.
I think DMC is at Thornhill, isn't it?
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
I've heard Thornhill, Texas. That's what I heard.
I tried
I
ABS.
can't remember. I think from 2 different places even.
And the ABS question, I tried the ABS from the radio with the Sandra radio, and it's not just, it's like a cheap way to do it. It doesn't really work. Find a girlfriend who can race. Never date an RC girl.
Yeah, because
That's
they're.
gay.
You know why? You know
it's
why?
fine being gay, but like.
You know why? Because fucking half the pits have had a go. So that's why. You know.
Ask Drake. Well, Drake's like the guy who lives and breathes and
I'm not gonna touch this one, folks.
does RC. So I mean, well, yeah, I think that's enough. So
Yeah, let's not go there.
yeah, let's.
We
not
don't
go
want
there.
to be blocked on Facebook forever.
Yeah, I want to be Drake's friend still. I think I'm Drake's friend. I never talked to him. Can I be Drake's friend? What do you think? Please comment. Do you think me and Drake can be friends? What's your opinion? I want to be friends with Drake. That's my dream. Dream big. Be friends with Drake.
When will we learn about what will happen to all the Durangos? I think we have some great ideas. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a huge event probably next year. I think this video has potential to go viral. I really do. It's just, yeah. It's just going to be amazing. Yeah. There's loads of ideas. It's gonna be a special video. Okay. Thornhill doesn't have enough room for an event like DNC. Well, maybe it will be like a new event.
Pessimus mother beats it.
Jyrkkänen on töissä ja töissä. Mekanikkona. Ei voi mitään, Jyrkkänen. Elämä on lifea. Okay. I think we're done. Was that the third question or the second question?
Second one.
Oh god, we still have one more question. Okay, one last question, and then we're gonna be done here. So make it count, folks. One last question, and then we're out.
Someone's all the time talking about Eclipse. I haven't seen Eclipse watching this.
What's Eclipse up to nowadays, anyway?
How's the light bulb? Oh yeah, the light bulb. I haven't started the light bulb. You know, it takes time.
The what?
The e-car. You remember?
Oh, yeah, e-car designing. That's next week. We're gonna start that. Next week.
Chassis flex. We don't know yet. We're gonna try that.
How many drivers going to Worlds? How the hell do I know? Probably 4. Chassis flex. So at HB are worried about chassis flex now. Maybe. Trying to get some pointers.
Have you? No, we don't need snow.
Have you eaten yellow snow? No. Come on, one last good question and then we can get out of here. Well, actually, no. We just end the Facebook Live and keep on wrenching.
So this one guy actually broke up with his girlfriend. I'm proud of him. Thank you.
Come on, how did you get into RC? That's such a lame question. We're not going to answer that. No one cares. Has e-commerce hurt RC? Oh my god. Such a deep question. So, it's good and bad. E-commerce is good and bad. The good, you can get RC anywhere. So places that don't have a hobby shop and stuff, you can still get parts. That's good. The bad is it kills off regular hobby shops that run tracks. But they better get with the times. They need to have a web shop too. Why can't every hobby shop have a web shop? Make it really good. Focus on certain brands or whatever people run at the track, and you can still be successful. So I think overall, web shops is a good thing for RC because it makes it more accessible. And it doesn't kill off all the normal hobby shops if they get with the times, you know?
Okay,
It's 2018. You better make your own web shop. Make your own web shop really good and you can compete.
So this one dude actually came through with it. He sent his girl, babe, I have to be single to pursue RC.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did she reply?
It's my calling, I can't be distracted, yeah.
What?
This one dude actually
And she replied, what? Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
That's it?
Don't say it loud. I don't think the guy wants to say it. But yeah, anyway.
Where is this?
The one guy said to Frank. Thank you, Frank. I think Frank is our hero tonight.
Frank, you're a good guy. Now, just keep on the conversation and let us know what happens.
No,
you know?
she called him already. I think they figured it out, but yeah.
Oh. Well, anyway, keep us posted.
It was a good effort. Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank. Good. A for effort.
Yes.
Yeah, that was 3 questions. So screw you guys, right? Or should we still do something or no?
Please, one more. One good question.
Okay, Max still wants one more.
Yeah, one more good question. We have to end this on a good question, you know?
Yeah. Max is going to end this on a good question.
Okay.
Anything? Anything, people?
Okay, should we do about the AMS track?
Yeah, let's talk
about the AMS track. Okay, so one of my friends sent me a message and or like in the group chat or something. It was like, "Oh, this track is so cool. Like, why can't we have tracks like this in Finland?" And I'm like, that track looks cool, yes, but those tracks are really, really annoying to drive. Like, it's a huge jump. You just shoot it every lap and wish that your servo doesn't break or something doesn't blow up. Your car catches flames, or just a kid marshalling and hit him in the face. So there's so many things going wrong that could go wrong every single lap. So especially e-buggy, like every single lap you're like praying in the air. Like you take your hands off, kneel down, then you look up and see the car still rolling, and it like when you push throttle it goes forward. So I don't like big jumps like that. The second part is the crossover. So this one guy, I don't know his name. Like if people know him, tag him in this one. He had like a meme battle with Jeff Keaton, and Keaton lost pretty bad. It was funny. I followed it. So this one dude posted like 10 memes of the crossover. So it was funny. I don't know if someone knows.
Where was that? On Facebook?
Yeah, some guy on his like page.
Okay, let's see. Where can we find these memes about the crossover? Because this crossover is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So okay.
A normal crossover you can deal with, but this crossover, cars are coming in super fast into a berm.
Yes.
Which goes under the crossover. So if a car has crashed there, you have to really watch out for the cars coming full speed into a berm, right? So you have to be careful there. So you have the berm, people are going inside or around the berm. That's tough. Then you can't see, because the crossover is so high, so you can't see the cars coming to jump the crossover. Then the car that just went through the berm, that you just avoided, it's really quickly coming to the crossover because it's such a short loop. So you barely miss the car in the berm, you go to marshal the car, and then you get hit in the face by the same car which you just missed in the berm, because it's such a short loop, because you can't see over there. So I don't know, if I was at the race, there's no way I would marshal that position, because I would die, and all the Americans would laugh.
Yeah, but anyone who knows the guy who posted
Was it
me,
Landon Lewis?
Yeah, Landon Lewis, that's his name. Those are like super funny. But yeah, so the crossover is ridiculous. I think, like, if they put the crossover like 2-3 meters forwards, where there would be a lip and an actual like place to accelerate, it'd be fine. But it's like straight after a corner, and I mean, and then there is the triple that you have to pay in there, and the other parts of the track is not that bad. But I mean all the jumps are super steep, and
I bought a helmet to Marshall, he says.
yeah, you should. Everyone who's there should buy a helmet to Marshall. And good insurance.
The suicide crossover.
Yeah, I mean, you better check actually that the race organizers have the insurance. Like,
Did you have to sign a waiver or something?
yeah, like I mean, if you go on a track and if you drive and you hit someone in the face, do you have to like, are you responsible or the guy marshalling? How does it work in the US?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Like, imagine someone gets hit in the face. Like, it's gonna be bad. No waiver. Yeah, Landon Lewis. Let's check this out. These ones are good. I checked them all yesterday. Those were funny.
Onko ne tässä?
Me alaspäin. Do you have more questions?
Missä ne on?
Onks PK-seudulla mitään...
Top 10 most dangerous places. Onko se tää?
Joo. Kesäisin ei oo sisäratoja. Talvella on Hakkilassa. Se ikään lähellä.
Siis missä? Oliks näitä paljon näitä kuvia vai?
Joukisella alaspäin.
Top 10 most dangerous places in the world. Death Valley, Mount Washington, AMS crossover. This one?
Yeah.
Top 10 flattest places.
Yeah, this is Jeff Keaton's response, which was really bad. Everyone like, why you're such a hater or something, comment.
Desert, Bonneville, Salt Flats, 2018 Raw Nationals. Flattest place on earth.
Yeah. Everyone is hating on this. So everyone go look at Landon Lewis's memes after this. These are fun.
Calculating the perfect speed, angle and time to jump the crossover without causing a 12-car pileup. There's some math equations.
You should, yeah, everyone should have a hockey helmet.
Yeah. When Brian drives over the crossover, then you have a Kyosho smashed to bits.
That kid is
front shock tower completely bent and off the car, flipped 180 degrees. When Brian turn marshals over the crossover, lying on his back with a water bottle under his neck, obviously being hit in the face with a buggy.
One guy says I'm high. I'm not.
Watching the live RC feed of the crossover like...
What? 3 people have gotten hit, actually?
How do I switch? Watching the crossover like that face.
Actually, is it true? 3 people have gotten hit. Hey, so happy to be nice.
When your friend makes it over the crossover every time, is it possible to learn this power? Trying to find a safe line over the crossover line.
Okay, I think we're done with the memes.
I'm just going to send it. So, promote the track as fun with big jumps. Build huge quad nasty capable of big air. Build crossover coming right out of a turn, going over the straightaway. Build crossover coming right out of a turn, going over the straightaway. The same thing. What the hell?
The point is that the car is really excited, then he gets like...
Oh yeah, I see. Right over the straightaway into that quad.
The carb is the Reds one, but it's the old one. So he's using the car from the old Reds ones that they used to have.
Yeah, but they'll have a new one.
Yeah, they'll have a new one.
Yeah. So no, it's a Reds carb.
Yeah, we always run 25% nitro.
Yeah.
Always. And runtime depends on track. I think it's from 8 minutes to... Well, I think we could get 10 on some tracks. Think? 8 minutes to 10 minutes runtime.
I normally run out at 9, so that's about
it.
Okay, so we're done here. Let's just e-buggy our way out of here. Okay? Tired of this shit. Tired. Need to prepare for the Nationals tomorrow and mentally prepare for the 87 days in Australia.
87.
Okay?
1:30.
E-buggy, thank you, Will Smith. Love you.